Hello everyone and welcome back to the series. We're here in Monaco, the Principality, one of the most dangerous and challenging, but also famous tracks in the world. The drivers are heading out for their formation lap, and leading them is Oscar, who gets pole position again, and with a decent margin over his competitors. This 8th pole of the series, and he's the only one still who has more than one pole. And then following him is Sunny. He returns from his surprise entrance in Silverstone, where he almost won his debut race. And he's back qualifying second place, almost a second off the pace of Oscar, but that still gets him second place on the road. And then following him is Miko, another driver who's been able to challenge Oscar recently. He starts third for this one. And behind him is Greenius, who has a special livery for Monaco and will be starting fourth on the road in today's race. Track position obviously very important in Monaco, where it's hard to overtake. And then coming up next we have Apex, who gets 5th position, almost 2 seconds off Oscar's time. Our championship leader will start 6th for this race, blazing 3.2 seconds off the pace. He'll need to catch up to Oscar to protect his championship lead, and then Avery will come next, starting in 7th position. Coming off his first podium in the series, he'll be full of confidence towards today's challenging race. And then Blurry will come next, using his Brawn GP inspired livery for the second and last time in this series. He's starting a bit lower than he would have wanted, and he'll be trying to make up some spots. Wizard returns from a break from the series, 2 races off, and he's back in Monaco, starting in 9th position. It's quite close in the midfield, so he needs all the points he can get. Filmman also makes a return to the series. The fellow content creator will start 10th in this race. He usually tries to keep out of trouble at the start and let the chaos unfold ahead of him. Next up is Farmboy, who's starting in 11th. He struck some pretty poor luck in the first few corners of the last races, getting taken out a couple of times. He'll be hoping to get through cleanly in this very challenging track. Bringing up the rear of the field today we have Bones, who was unable to set a competitive lap time, so his outlap is what is recorded there, and that will relegate him to the back of the field, which probably isn't the worst place to start in what I'm sure will be a chaotic race as the final few cars get into position. And we're all set to race in the Principality in Monaco for 5 laps of racing in 3 beeps time. We're underway here in Monaco, and Oscar got a brilliant launch there. Sunny dropping back a position, and Philman also dropping to the back of the field. Into center what we go, and Oscar leads the way. Wizard sends a dive bomb and makes contact with Avery, and they head into the wall, and oh, that's a big crash. 2 cars into the wall there. Wizard out, and then Bones goes over the top of Farmboy there, and it's a big crash. There'll definitely be a red flag for this one. Philman able to get through unscathed, but there's 3 cars stranded at corner 1. Oscar will keep the lead for the restart, and the order will be as it is displayed there. And we're hearing that Bones has been able to get going again, and yes, he's able to escape from the scene, but he might not be able to escape from a penalty with that incident there running into the back of Farmboy. We'll have a quick look at the replay before we get underway again, and we can see the cars heading through corner 1, and it looks like Wizard sends a bit of a dive bomb, but Avery also kind of cuts him off. We'll have to get a few more angles to fully understand what happened there, and you can see Bones having nowhere to go and running into the back of Farmboy. We'll also have to see his onboard to see what was happening there, and it's a big dive bomb from Wizard, and he'll definitely be at fault for that one. He might also get a penalty, and he's also out of the race and at the back. Filmman there being able to avoid the chaos, his slow approach paying off. Here's Wizard's onboard. Oh yeah, and it was a big send from a long way back, probably not on, and it's cost him the race, and it might give him a penalty. If he's at the back, it'll be a grid penalty for the next race. You can see their Bones incident in the foreground. The usual expected chaos for Monaco. At least some cars made it through. Here's Bones' onboard, and he sees a gap that he can get through, and then Farmboy moves across quite violently and cuts him off. But he does run into the back of Farmboy, not very cautious through the first couple of corners, and he might not be able to avoid a penalty. We're back here ready to get going again. We have 10 cars lined up for battle once more. Another very quick getaway from Oscar and Sunny, getting swallowed up at the start again. Fieldman once again dropping to the back of the field and taking a slow and easy approach through corner 1. The first couple of cars make it through, and there's contact again. Avery is once more run into at the start of the race, and he spins right around and hits the wall there. Blurry the driver to make contact this time, and he gets away with it up into 7th now. And Oscar leads the way up Beaurivage, followed by Miko and Greenius. Almost all 10 cars making up. We are hearing that Avery has turned around and has gotten going again, and he's got heavy damage there he's going to have to pit for. Around Massenet and into Casino Square we go. Oscar driving the very limit of his car around this incredibly challenging track. Into Mirabeau and into the hairpin we go, one of the few places where you can potentially make a move on this track, and they head around single file, Oscar leading the way, Sunny going a bit wide there, but managing to stay on the track. We're hearing that Blurry has lost his front wing, but it's just a visual glitch, and Philman spins it around at the hairpin. That one's going to be hard to turn around, and that might render him out of the race. As we head now through the tunnel, Blazin taking a bit of a different line, perhaps trying to force Apex into a defensive line. As we head now into the Nouvelle chicane, and Oscar safely navigates the first part, and now the second part, and we're hearing that Avery has now gotten past Philman, and Philman is out of the race. But the cars make it through safe and sound. Bones starting to trail off the pack a little bit there at the back. The car's on the absolute limit through the swimming pool chicane. One of very many difficult corners on this track that tests the consistency of the drivers like no other. And now we're coming through Raskas and the final corners to complete the first lap of this race. We've made it through one racing lap, which some of the drivers thought wouldn't even happen. Heading down the start straight now and back into Saint Devote. We're on lap 3 now because we lost a lap of racing due to the red flag at the start. Oh, and Mika had a bit of a brush with the wall there through corner 1, and Greenius is through for second place. Mika was lost second place to Greenius there, punished for his mistake like this track does, and he was lucky to get away with it at all and continue on in this race. Usually mistakes like that can end your race, but he lives to fight another day, and it looks like his car drives normally, so he should be fine. Sunny now behind him, the driver who started in second, and is that Blurry making a move on Blazin through the casino square, and that's Philman out of the race, stranded on the island in the middle of the hairpin there. Unfortunately, we have these big massive cranes so we can pick up the cars and transport them safely off the track in a moment's notice, so we won't need to stop the race for that one. Heading now through the tunnel, Blazin following earnestly to try and recover that lost position. It's risky but definitely possible to make places into the Nouvelle chicane, and Blazin's under pressure to perform because he needs to defend his championship title at the moment. He's first in the standings, but at this stage Oscar will overtake him. Oh, and he crashes on the exit of the Nouvelle chicane, and that's him out of the race. He's fortunately able to get off the track in no time as not to have a stoppage, and Bones drives on through now 5 places up from where he started at the back of the field. But that's race over for Blazin, and the tragedy is Oscar, I'm sure, unless something dramatic happens, will keep that championship lead as the cars head through Anthony Nose to start the 4th lap in this race. Apex there falling a bit back, and then so is Blurry, but he had to get past Blazin. Oscar successfully navigates the first corner and heads up Beau Rivage now with a pretty decent gap ahead of the rest of the racers. That contact again with the wall for Miko, and his suspension will really be feeling it this time, but it looks like he is again okay and able to continue. Sunny not being able to make the move as Greenius heads through. We can see a little bit of damage there for Miko, but he's able to continue, and Sunny can smell blood here. He knows that Miko is struggling, and he'll try and make the move. Oh, and he keeps behind him through Mirabeau, and that's probably the smarter call there. Apex and Blurry following on through, and Oscar now extending his legs. A bit of contact with the wall there. He seems to be okay though as he heads through Portier. That's one to watch as we head on further in this race. And again, Sunny is right on the back of Miko there. A move is imminent, I feel. It's just about finding a safe place to do it that won't end in a disaster. Oscar now heading through the Nouvelle chicane, and that tap with the wall doesn't seem to be affecting him at all as he heads through. And looks like it might be another lights to finish victory here for the Colombian. It'll be his 5th victory in the series. Next best is Blurry with 2. And now Miko heads through again under pressure by Sunny, but is that smoke coming from Greenius? Is there a problem for Greenius? He might have tapped the wall somewhere and gotten a bit of damage, or he might be having engine struggles, but he's still ahead of Miko and Sunny as they do their battle. No, he won't be as he spins at the exit of Swimming Pool, and both Miko and Sunny zoom on by. They continue their battle through the end, and it'll be a last lap shootout between the two as they head through Anthony Nodes now, and Miko is the lead car heading onto the final lap, but will he still be the lead car at the end of it as they head now towards the first corner? Saint Devote, Sunny now getting a healthy dose of slipstream, and he tries to make the move down to corner 1, and there's contact, and Miko is in the wall, and both cars have heavy damage, but Sunny able to continue, and Miko is in a very desperate state right now. Apex through, and now Blurry catching him also through. As we head up the top of Beau Rivage, Miko has been hit, and he's out of the race, and he's in a very dangerous position there. I'm wondering if we're going to get another red flag for that one. It is the last lap, but we would get one more lap of racing if the red flag were called right now. And Greenius now makes it through. It looks like he's also got damage, and the red flag has been called. So Oscar isn't safe yet. He'll have to defend on another restart. It'll be the 3rd for the race, and we'll have 7 cars starting next time round. Also gives an opportunity to Avery. Another struggling start for Sunny and Oscar off, and looks like both Bones and Greenies haven't gotten going from the start. They both have now, but they stalled on the start, and that's 2 positions for Avery. Bones now at the back of the pack. Plenty of smoke from cars locking up there, and Avery has gotten past both Greenies and Bones, who have dropped down. Greenies won second in this race, now finds himself in 6th. Apex has jumped up to second over Sunny, and there's smoke ahead. Someone is locking up, but once again Oscar leads the way, and he is on for another victory. Through Mirabeau he goes. Oh, and there's a spin and there's contact, and it looks like Apex is out of the race there. 2 cars get through and he's trying to continue, but that car does not look like it's in a good shape there, and it might be the end of the road for Apex, who was in 2nd position. Climbing up all the way from 5th position, and now he'll drop back down to 7th as Bones goes on by and he is out of the race. The car's all zooming through the tunnel for the final time today, and it's Blurry who's now found himself in a podium position, who started 8th in this race, and he's now into 3rd. An amazing race from him so far, and that's Apex out of the race. That's a lot of damage there. Oh, and Avery is spun, and Greenius will get through on a miserable day it's been for Avery. He's just had a lot of incidents and mistakes, and Bones also looks like he's going to get on through. Yes, he does. Avery nice enough not to get in the way and cause another incident, but that puts Greenius back into 4th position. An impressive drive from him, but what's been more impressive today is Oscar, who's going to get his 5th victory around one of the most challenging circuits in the world. He survived 3 race starts and 2 red flags, and he has not lost the lead this whole race. In a defining and dominant drive, Oscar will win Monaco and reclaim the championship lead back into his favour, and Sunny will come 2nd, getting his 1st main race podium. Blurry comes home in 3rd. An impressive drive. Greenius is able to recover to 4th. And then coming around now, Bones, who hasn't been the fastest but has definitely stayed in the mix, will get 5th position, surviving till the end of the race. And then Avery, who is testing home a damaged car. You can see the suspension on the back there snapped. It's been a difficult one for him, but in the end he does get 6th position. We'll have to see whether Bones receives a penalty that might promote him back into 5th as he crosses the line on the road 6th. And there's confirmation that Bones will receive a 1-place penalty. That'll put him in 6th for that first lap incident, but it's Oscar again who wins this one, and then Sunny comes home in 2nd, his first proper podium in the series. Blurry also receiving a podium. Greeny is up there in 4th, getting another decent finish. Avery also getting 5th once again. He seems to get that position a lot. Bones there in 6th, we've mentioned him. Apex in 7th, unfortunately crashing out right at the end there. And then Miko, who's usually up at the top, also having a rare incident. Blazin in 9th, losing that championship lead. A disappointing race for him. Philman also not going out the way he wanted, and Farmboy and Wizard being victims of an opening lap crash. Now Oscar is leading the championship by 11 points to Blazin, who is now on 139. Oscar has 5 wins, and the next best is Blurry with 2. Very impressive from him. And then Blurry is on 109 points. Miko finally gets into the triple figures there, and Avery has now 81 points. He keeps 5th with a finish of 5th. Apex 6th in the standings. Bones recovering up to 7th after being 10th. Ido unfortunately missing out this time and dropping down to 8th in the standings, 1 point behind Bones. Seth, no longer in the series, continues to drop, now in 9th. Penn Striker in 10th, also missing out on this one. Burning and Lodiax not racing. Greeny is getting 3 spots for his 4th position. Sunny also gaining the same number of spots, and then Wizard and Farmboy losing spots in the standings, and Philman unfortunately off the page with 14 points now in the series. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. It was quite chaotic and a good lot of fun. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We also have a whole series of races that you can go back and watch if you haven't already, and a second channel now with the onboards of myself and a few extra little things that you can go check out as well. That will be on my channel pages, but until then, see ya.